Hello everybody, this is Thor Young. I'm a moderator with Bear Bull Traders, and I would like to do a recap for you on my trade today. During my recap on Lyft today, I want to talk about levels, and levels. It's been a while since I've talked about levels and making sure you're utilizing the L2 and the levels. I've been kind of working on some other topics. And today we're going to talk about levels. So first off, before I get rolling, just a plug for my guys in the pre-market show, Norm and Carlos. If you're looking for levels, this is where you find them. Because it's the same stocks, the same watch lists and stuff I'm grabbing from those guys, and they come up with basically all the best stuff. So one of the things we're going to go into with levels is how importantly they play on a stock that's in catalyst and actually has something going on. Lyft today had some news out that's giving it a little bit of a pop today, and I was really looking to see what I could do with Lyft today. Now you'll notice I haven't put any of my trades up yet. I'm going to hold that off because I want you guys to kind of see the fundamentals, and I'm going to let my trades go in and you can kind of overlay on top of that. So the first thing I want to take a look at here on Lyft is actually, let's go out to a 5-minute chart. So we have a lot of different levels that we can pull, and a lot of them are daily levels that we like to utilize. But daily levels are really more for what happens 15, 20, an hour, 2 hours into the trading day. When you're in that opening range and you're really looking to kind of find an edge in the opening range, utilizing the levels from pre-market actually are very, very strong, and they work very well especially on a catalyst stock. So I'm going to show you that now here. So first off, I auto draw a lot of my levels so that I have them. So previous daily levels and stuff like that, of course. Now you'll notice here I've got pre-market low and pre-market high, but Lyft had its news come out after the close yesterday, and you can see we had this big pop up here. So one thing I found interesting here was this level here, how we had this wick right to it, little resistance there, and then this high from the end of the day. So after the close, if you will, the high. So both of these levels really stood out for me, along with a couple of daily levels that I then marked off of like 31.79 and such. So when I go to put a play like this together, one thing is I recognize that the stock is gapped up. It's got a lot of strength to it. We knew it had a positive catalyst. So, and it managed to consolidate for a while here. It looks like it kind of is accumulating and getting ready to do something. So naturally, what I'm really looking to do is I want to see how the stock's going to open. Now, I tried something a little bit different. I normally just wait for the sell-off and then kind of get in really close to the bottom. But actually, the way the stock was ascending, I actually kind of thought it was going to pop a little bit more and a little bit faster. So I did something that I've been kind of practicing a little bit, which is where you take a small position or a feeler position in, and then you actually average down into the trade, but still maintaining the proper risk-reward ratio. And this is where it gets a little tricky. We talk about the different types of ads, which is, averaging into a trade or averaging up, or averaging into a trade by averaging down. Averaging up means that you take a position, your stock goes up, you add into the position to get a stronger position moving up. Averaging down is where you take a smaller position with a risk that's really far away, and then when you get down and closer to that risk and test it, you then add into the position there as you have confirmation at higher risk, but still maintaining your objective, right, of your maximum risk. So, and that's what I tried on Lyft today. I'm actually doing a class on on adding tonight, and I actually wanted to try this just to see how well it would work for me. Not completely into it, but it certainly worked really well, so I might hang on to it, especially for stocks like Lyft that have such a crazy wick in the open. So, let's go ahead and grab my trades here. I'm going to go ahead and show trades. So, as you can see here, we had Lyft, pre-market high, pre-market low in these levels. So Lyft opened, and when it opened, let me get into my 1-minute chart. When Lyft opened, it sold off a little bit towards 30.10, bounced up, and I actually went long thinking it was going to break. But I decided, because it was really wicking and the spread looked a little nasty, that what I was going to give it is to the loss of 29.50. So I took a light position here, only took about 100 shares. So it gave me, basically, a little bit over $50 risk, maybe $60, $70 risk here to hold down through 29.50. And I figured we'd let that go. And then it came down towards 29.50, which I was really not too excited about, to be honest. But this is how this works. So, and I waited down here, and then it bounced off, reclaimed pre-market low, and that gave me my risk reward. Now, most of the time when you guys see me doing these entries, this is where I get in all the time. So once I saw this bounce, I really liked it. I went long and I felt much better, and then the stock moved up. This was 100 shares here. This was 400 shares down here for a total position size of 500 shares. So, and I rolled this up pretty nicely, and out of those, the majority of those shares I got, I took about 250 of those shares up to here at 31. So we had a real nice, basically a dollar move out of those 250. So broke goal already by the time I got to here, which was great. So now, Lyft got a little weak and it did a nice little pullback for me. And it came in here, came down to VWAP. And it was holding it pretty well, bounced off of it. So I went ahead and did a free roll ad, which I talk about all the time. Basically, I'm going in here adding, and what I'm utilizing is my remaining unrealized P&L to average in. So my new stop loss is now below $30.50, nice round number, and below pre-market high that we worked so hard to break. So I was feeling pretty good. Now back to the levels. Look how this level worked as a resistance here. Look how it worked as support here. This is that level I got from pre-market I was talking about, right? So these levels maintain and work well throughout the day. This level, which was the highest point of the end of day that I pointed out earlier, look how this level did. Wick, wick, wick. Body close, wick, 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 body close. I mean, this level was basically all that. You could have traded off of this level pretty darn well to the top side. So I did a nice ad after we held this level, popped up here, came back down, held again, and then moved up, and I got some really sweet partials. Working a little bit lower of a position since it's an added position, but was still back up to, over half strength position at this point. So I did some wider spaces here for my partials, and you can see I'm grabbing partials basically every 50 cents now. Once a stock kind of starts making all-time highs, or as, this isn't at all-time high, but especially once it starts getting into these big move ups like this, I think we have a while to go before we're all time. Yeah, Lyft's been up to $50 again. But on this move, when you get these, they start popping up, and really the levels from the daily start to become less and less significant as you go. If this stock's in a good buying pattern and things are really going, look to the level too. If you're seeing supply spaced out every 50 cents, then just start dropping your orders in front of the large asks and just start adding as you go up. So with any luck, I'm going to wait here. I am waiting. I'd like to do one more ad. But I do have a rule for doing ads, and you'll see how it worked here is I actually require, before I'm able to do an ad, for the stock to pull back and test some greater averages. So it came back to VWAP, came near pre-market high, and then held that. So I went ahead and added there. But now if I want to do another ad, I actually need the stock to pull all the way back to VWAP, or the 9 moving average here. On the, it needs to pull back, at least back to like the 20 here on my 5-minute. Or something like that, because what happens is it looks really strong right here, and I could add in here, but then my average is going to be all the way up at 31.97, and if this rolls over and stops me, then I'm out. But and stocks come back to VWAP all the time. That's kind of what they do. That's why we use VWAP so often. So I'd rather be able to let this retest VWAP and then reclaim some of these averages and add on the way back up. So anyway, that's my recap for today. For all you BBT members that are out there, lifetime webinar tonight. Andrew's going to be covering moving averages. I'm going to be covering ads. So it's going to be a lot of fun, tons of knowledge. I hope everyone can stop by and enjoy it. And for everybody else, I hope this was informational. Throw me a like, the little thumbs up action if it was good for you. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one. Thanks.